Take a journey into a paranormal dimension where the ordinary becomes strange, a tapestry of fear, mystery, and the incomprehensible. These three true stories explore the terrifying experiences that have changed lives. This collection of ghost stories will challenge your understanding of reality. In the months that followed, rumors circulated about the strange events at the isolated cabin by Harrow Lake. Locals warned others to stay away from the cursed place after ghostly sightings were reported. As the days passed, the legend of the young girl's spirit grew more notorious within the walls of the cabin. The disappearance of the college students left the community divided between those who believed in the supernatural and those who dismissed it as mere coincidence. After news of their disappearance reached the town's ears, it wasn't long before one brave soul named Emily couldn't resist investigating the hauntings. Truth. Emily decided to uncover the secrets hidden within the isolated cabin because of a sense of adventure and a compassionate heart. As she delved into the folklore of Harrow Lake, armed with a glimmer of hope, she was determined to lift the curse that had plagued the area for decades. Emily felt a strong connection with the cabin as soon as she arrived. Mist clung to the surrounding areas, amplifying the sinister aura. Guided by a map she found in the archives of the local library, she navigated her way through the dense forest. A hidden passage in the cabin led Emily deeper into Harrow Lake's secrets. In unraveling the story of the young girl's tragic end, she revealed how the unforgiving waters cut short her life. During her research, she discovered details about a forbidden ritual that could release the girl's spirit if performed correctly. As Emily clutched the locket with the girl's picture firmly in her hand, the ritual began. While reciting the ancient incantations, candlelight flickered on the cabin's walls, casting dancing shadows. There was a heavy feeling of anticipation in the air, and the atmosphere changed. In an instant, the entire foundation of the cabin began to tremble. Emily shielded her eyes from the blinding light, carefully peering through her fingers. Expression softened as the young girl stood before her, with sorrowful eyes that had now become grateful ones. The girl thanked Emily for bringing peace to her tormented soul with a whispered thank you. A profound connection was made between them as they embraced. Seeing the light fade away, Emily realized the cabin was no longer a place of darkness and despair. Emily's triumph spread throughout the town, and the once feared cabin became a symbol of redemption and hope. Inspire others to confront their fears and overcome the darkness that haunts them by telling tales of resilience and bravery based on legends. After years, the isolated cabin by Harrow Lake stood as a testament to a young girl's indomitable spirit and the power of compassion. Among the walls of the building stood a plaque bearing Emily's name, the pioneer who redeemed a cursed place and turned it into a sanctuary of healing. It was impossible to avoid feeling a mixture of compassion and curiosity as the Thompsons absorbed the ghostly presence. His spectral figure flickered with each passing second as the old man beckoned them toward the fireplace. Mrs. Thompson pulled the ancient diary from the hidden compartment with a trembling hand. This book was weathered and yellowed with age. The handwriting on its pages contained the words of a long-deceased house owner. Their journey back in time was accompanied by the reading of the diary. It was a heartbreaking tale of loss and despair that absorbed them into the past. Tragedy tore a family apart as the diary revealed its heartbreaking story. On that fateful night so many years ago, this book chronicled the struggles and grief the old man endured. Having remained trapped in the house for so long, his anguished spirit was unable to find peace. The Thompsons were deeply moved by the story and promised to find solace for the tormented spirit. After uncovering the truth and bringing closure to the old man's restless soul, they embarked on a journey to heal the wounds of the past. They discovered the graves of the old man's departed family members with the help of local historians and diligent research. An emotional ceremony was held the following Christmas Eve, honoring the lost souls and offering prayers for their eternal peace. Seeing the ghostly figure from a distance, he gave a grateful and relieved expression. Their Christmas Eve traditions continued as the years passed, ensuring that their home was filled with love, warmth, and remembrance. Rather than haunting the house anymore, the old man's spirit became a benevolent force. In the once sorrowful home, it would observe quietly the family celebrations, finding consolation in the joy emerging from the newfound happiness. A legend spread among the townspeople about the Thompson family and the old man's ghost, a much-loved story of forgiveness, compassion, and reconnection with one's past would be told, and people would gather to hear it. On Christmas Eve, the Thompson family would remember the old man and his family as the aroma of freshly baked cookies filled the air and the crackling fireplace enveloped their home. The spirit of unity that brought them together would be cherished, and they would feel grateful for the ability to heal wounds, both visible and invisible, as a symbol of love, redemption, and the everlasting bond between the living and the departed. Christmas Eve would forever remain a symbol of love. In order to learn more about the hospital's history, Emma decided to dig deeper into her newfound understanding and respect, to uncover the truth hidden within Ward 8's ashes. She spent countless hours in the local library, sifting through old newspapers and records. The fragments of information Emma pieced together formed a vivid picture. Her vision was of a nurse named Elizabeth Anderson, who was renowned for her compassion and dedication to her patients. She yearned to honor Elizabeth's memory, and her heart was filled with admiration for her selflessness. Upon receiving permission from Ward 8's owners, Emma began restoring the building. By sharing Elizabeth's heroic act and calling on the community to help preserve the hospital's legacy, she rallied the community. As she called for volunteers, she was swamped with people willing to lend their skills and time to her cause. It proved difficult to overcome decades of neglect and decay during the renovation process. The once dilapidated ward slowly recovered the splendor once held thanks to Emma's steadfast determination. A number of mysterious occurrences occurred during the renovation. A soothing breeze whispered through the hallways as lights flickered inexplicably and doors creaked open their own. As they carried on with their work, Emma sensed Elizabeth's spirit guiding them. Eventually, Ward 8 was ready for public unveiling. Locals eager to witness the transformation gathered for the grand reopening. In the ward, the air was filled with awe and reverence as they entered. She had transformed Ward 8 into a memorial, a place of healing dedicated to Elizabeth. In the center of the ward, a statue depicting Elizabeth's compassionate spirit stood proudly. Many visitors gathered to pay their respects, their own encounters with the supernatural only strengthening their belief in the power of the human spirit. Through Emma's efforts, a forgotten space was revitalized, and a sense of community was rekindled. Several years later, the apartment complex was no longer deteriorating. The house once again became a hive of activity. She inspired others to embrace history and the resilience of human spirit through her legacy, passed down from generation to generation. The distance, a benevolent smile would appear every now and then as the sun set over the renovated complex.